Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. Thanks for watching on YouTube TV, listening Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. In this hour, we'll reset the Thursday night football game. Eagles, about a touchdown favorite on the road against the Giants with player props. And the Dodgers-Phillies game will be underway coming up in less than 10 minutes. And to kick off the hour, we'll talk more about that game with Adam Burke, who is the managing editor at vsin.com, and he is on the Progressive Guest Line. Adam, good afternoon. Thanks for the time. How are you?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Before we get into your play for tonight, don't you think last night was like a really good reminder and maybe like a teaching lesson, like momentum doesn't mean anything? I mean, right, all you heard pretty much was the Blue Jays were on the ropes by the Yankees. The Dodgers series was over with. The Brewers absolutely shellacked the Cubs in the first couple of games, and then it was 3-0 Seattle in the game against Detroit, and then look what happened.
Yeah, I mean, look, at this point, we're talking about all good teams, right? So on any given night, a team can play up to its potential, play down to, maybe its lowest point. So, the variance of the MLB playoffs is just always going to be there night in and night out. But again, these are all really good teams. So, they've got really good players. They've got really good hitters. They've got really good relievers. So, it's really not that surprising that you kind of get some of these back and forth types of things. And, look, I mean, when your back's against the wall and the other team's got a little bit of a cushion, maybe there is a little bit of an extra push. For example, the Dodgers going, to Clayton Kershaw in the 8th was really, really strange. We come to find out Tanner Scott wasn't available, but, with Tyler Glasnow going today, just means that Dave Roberts wanted all of those guys available and didn't really feel like he had much of a chance to come back in game 3. So, there's a chess match between the two managers, but there's also a lot of good players on all these teams. And so any given night, somebody can step up and help their team win a ball game.
Yeah, no doubt. So having said that, with the game starting now, coming up in a few minutes here, who do you like in this Phillies-Dodgers game?
Yeah, so, I mean, I took a pregame position on the Phillies. Obviously there's live betting opportunities throughout the postseason. When you've got pitching changes, you've got, maybe at times through the order penalty, you can look to take advantage of with a starter, something like that. But I started with the Phillies tonight for a couple of reasons. One, I mean, Christopher Sanchez looked good, in game 1, but also he's an extreme ground ball guy, and it's tough to string hits together in this run environment of the postseason. A lot of times it's maybe you get a walk, you get a single, and then someone hits a 2-run homer, something like that. Sanchez is very, very stingy with allowing the long ball. But the other thing here is that for Tyler Glasnow, I mean, dating back to September 20th, he's only faced 21 batters. So, he pitched in relief earlier in the series, gave up a couple hits, a couple walks to the 8 batters that he faced 13 batters in September 23rd in his final regular season appearance. Like, it's hard to ask a guy to, figuratively roll out of bed and all of a sudden be really good, in a postseason elimination game. So I took the Phillies for that reason. And I also like Tyler Glasnow over 1.5 walks. You're paying a little bit of juice on this one. It's in the -130 range, -135, but I don't expect him to be super, super sharp here in, a really, really big game where Philadelphia maybe did take a little bit of that momentum back yesterday. So that's what I got. I got Phillies to start with, and we'll see if I hold that position or if maybe I get a good opportunity to take the Dodgers live, something like that.
That was awesome that the Judge walk prop got there. Intentional walk with nobody on. How about the late game with the Cubbies and Brewers?
Yeah, this was a tough one, obviously, because, you didn't know throughout most of the day who was going to be pitching for these two teams. It makes sense that they're sending out Freddie Peralta and Matthew Boyd here. I mean, for Peralta, if you're the Brewers, you want to shut this thing down right now. You don't want to go to a game 5 where anything can happen. Yeah, you're at home and that's great. But the biggest issue for the Brewers throughout the course of the season has been reliable rotation depth. You didn't know that Quinn Priester was going to be as good as he's been. You didn't know that Chad Patrick was going to be as good as he's been. You didn't know that Mizorowski was going to come up and, look pretty good until he kind of struggled late in the season. So I think you've got to send Peralta tonight. I think it makes sense. His whip is a decent amount higher, walks and hits per innings pitched, a decent amount higher on 4 days rest than it is on 5 days rest. So that was something that kind of scared me off a little bit with Milwaukee. But again, for Matthew Boyd, he was going on short rest, they said in game 1, but he didn't have a full outing in the wild card series anyway. He just didn't locate. And this is a Brewers lineup that at the top, in the top half of it specifically, is really, really good against lefties. So if I was to do anything here, and I still have a little bit of time to think about it, maybe Brewers first 5, maybe it's just chaos at the end. But I think Peralta is the right call here. And I think given the options, Boyd's probably the right call for the Cubs too.
4 college football games tonight. How about the marquee matchup, Tulane 6.5 against East Carolina?
Yeah, so, I mean, this is one to me, and we're going to start seeing a lot of these games here, over the next couple of weeks where you just have some pretty big strength of schedule discrepancies. And I like to use Jeff Sagarin's numbers, formerly of USA Today. He's got his own website now. Tulane's played the 31st ranked schedule in the country, and East Carolina's played the 85th. So this line makes sense. And, both of these teams kind of have pretty similar numbers, in terms of yards per play on offense and defense, but Tulane's played the better schedule. So to me, if East Carolina can do well here, stepping up in class, then sure, good for them. But I think there are some areas of negative regression for this team on third down on offense, on third down on defense, as the schedule ramps up a little bit. And also Jake Retzlaff can get out there and run around. He really actually hasn't been that good of a passer for Tulane here so far, but he's been a good runner. And when you get the dual threat guy that can keep you on time and on schedule with the early down success rates, that's something that can help you move the football. So I took Tulane minus 6.5 tonight, and I do love East Carolina's head coach, Blake Harrell. Really, really good defensive coordinator, good head coach. But I think Tulane's just the more talented, more battle-tested team.
Very good. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Adam Burke, managing editor at VSiN.com. Do you have a bet on the NFL game tonight, or did you see, and we have such great content every single day from multiple people that people can read on their own. Did you see anything from Zach Cohen or Mackin or somebody else that caught your eye? Or like, I might have to look into that for tonight.
Well, something I think is interesting. So I write a first touchdown article every Thursday over at vsin.com, and our executive producer, Stephanie Kamershak, actually started the spreadsheet. And then I took the article over when she got some more responsibilities there on the production side. So I had a nice framework to build off of. And, so I tracked the first touchdown scored by each team in every game, and I track whether or not they scored on their opening possession with the ball. And I think something that's really interesting here, both of these teams have scored the first touchdown of the game in each of the last 4 games. And for the Giants, they've actually scored on their first possession in the 2 games started by Jackson Dart. So maybe things are just working a little bit better. Maybe the Brian Daboll scripted drive is doing pretty well. But the thing that really caught my eye here in kind of trying to handicap the first touchdown market here for tonight is that the Giants only have 3 red zone receptions on 11 targets. So they've had a really hard time getting the ball to Wan'Dale Robinson, Malik Neighbors before he got hurt, any of the other guys that are out there. Theo Johnson's been the most efficient guy in the red zone, and obviously he scored the first touchdown last week for them and added another one for good measure. So I'm probably looking at one of the chalky options for the Eagles if you're looking at the first touchdown market, and Theo Johnson probably makes sense at 22, 20-1 out there, whatever you can get, because Neighbors isn't out there, and to this point we haven't seen Wan'Dale Robinson really be a good red zone option yet.
Great job with the NBA betting guide. It dropped on Tuesday, less than 2 weeks away from the start of the season. LeBron out the first 3 weeks. What's your favorite bet or any takeaways from the betting guide and what you like in the NBA from a season-long standpoint?
My favorite bet is to become a VSiN Pro subscriber. I think that's the best way to prepare for the NBA season. I give full credit to Zachary Cohen for the NBA betting guide. I do a lot around here. There's a lot of sports that I cover, but the NBA betting guide, that is Zach's project. He gets to do it from start to finish. I trust him completely and utterly with that guide, and he did a phenomenal job with it, doing all 30 of the team previews. Jonathan Von Tobel with a couple of feature articles in there. But I think the thing that people should really key in on are the live betting tips. Yes. Because the NBA is a market that's really, really good for live betting. It's one of the reasons why the handle is so big for the NBA. You have all these people just hanging out in Discord channels, watching the game together, stuff like that. But foul trouble is such a big deal. You've got on-off stats that you can look through. You can find some really, really good live betting angles. And that's something that we tried to magnify in this year's NBA betting guide.
Well said. And I also like that Bidlin pointed out that, hey, look, we love betting alternate win totals now in the NFL. Why not in the NBA? It's an 82-game schedule. And a lot of these teams are going to go either over or under their win total by like 5 games or more.
Right, yeah, for sure. Especially if you talk about a team that's maybe really, really superstar dependent. Superstar misses a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, something like that, and all of a sudden, they're kind of up against it a little bit. Or just teams that simply don't have depth, don't have a good second unit. 82 games is a grind. A lot of travel, back-to-backs, 4 and 6s, stuff like that. If you don't have depth, if you don't have guys that can come off the bench and score for you, that makes it really, really tough to sustain a lot of success because your big horses get tired at the end of the year. So I think alternate win totals in every sport are worth looking at. but definitely one like the NBA for sure.
Totally agree. And tip of the cap to you and everybody involved on a daily basis with the website, because there's so much great content. It's well worth becoming a VSiN Pro subscriber, no doubt. Adam, thanks for the time. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, I just want to mention here, we are 2 weeks away from the release of our VSiN college basketball betting guide. So that one's coming quick, October 23rd. Doing a lot of work for that one, but it's crazy how fast the sports betting calendar goes. And just another reason to become a VSiN Pro subscriber, because you got another guide coming in 2 weeks.
Yeah, no kidding. That is, oh my God, that's blazing fast. All right, Adam, thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
I just had a flashback to Ferris Bueller. Life comes at you pretty fast.
Right. I told you this off air. I think people would be shocked by this. Tim Bontemps, ESPN, did the annual NBA.com survey of all 30 of the league's front offices. For the 6th year in a row, they said Spoelstra is the best coach in the league.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's pretty strong.
6 years in a row.
Yeah, and I want to say that the GM said that Joker's going to win the MVP.
And best passer, yeah. Yeah.
And I think they all pretty much agreed that OKC's going to repeat.
Yeah, about 80%.
Okay.
Yep. Love Al Lasso, credible lawyer. If you need help, you're hurt, call Al Lasso. If you're in an accident, the other driver doesn't have insurance or not nearly enough, you're the one stuck with medical bills, repairs, and lost wages. Their experienced teams knows the ins and outs of uninsured and underinsured motorist claims. They fight to make sure you're not left paying for someone else's mistakes. Lasso Injury Law, consultations free. 702-625-8777. Lasso Injury Law, your future matters. Visit lassoinjurylaw.com, 702-625-8777.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We will hit Thursday Night Football coming up in about 15 minutes. Eagles, Giants, a lot of props to consider. Right now they are playing. It's underway right now in Los Angeles. That was not a strike?
Yeah, what'd you think of that strike zone in New York last night?
That was beautiful, wasn't it?
Ridiculous.
Of course it was.
I mean,
So I have the Phillies here. That's a strike. That's Glasnow. That should have been a strike. Instead, that's a 4-pitch walk to Bohm.
He's talking to himself. I don't blame him.
And now the Phillies have runners on the corners here. 2 outs. Schwarber had a double. Will they score here? This is massive for Nerfy bettors. Glasnow, by the way, is at 15 pitches so far in the game, and that's his first walk. So the prop again was 1.5. Burke just talked about that. Here's Marsh now at the plate. Your favorite player for the Phillies, right?
My favorite player.
Yeah. Did they call that one a strike?
They called that one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was definitely a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Let me give you some numbers here. I know the game's going on right now, but the Dodgers are averaging 5.5 runs per game at home on the year. Hernandez versus Sanchez. You can also maybe find some live player props at certain books. In his career, Teoscar, 5 of 15, 2 doubles and 2 home runs. Andy Pajes is 4 of 12. Edman, great game last night, 4 of 12, 4 of 13 with a double. Alex Call, 3 of 11, 2 home runs. Ohtani, 4 of 19, 9 Ks overall. And Bryce Harper against Glasnow, 4 of 12, a triple and a double. Not much else in a positive note to speak of from this Phillies lineup. And you have Sanchez outs over?
Yep. They need him. Their bullpen's taxed. They talked about it before the game. They need 7 out of him. And I think he can get there. He was so good in game 1. And their game plan is 7 out of him and 2 out of Duran. That's what their game plan is. Sit down.
Struck him out. Phillies cannot capitalize on having runners on the corners there. Glasnow gets out of it.
And big one for your Brewers. You know, you got to win this game.
Agreed.
You're the better team. You proved it the whole season. You were awesome in the 2 home games. Just survived the first inning. This is incredible what's going on with the Cubs in this series in the first inning, and also what they've done early in games and how they got by the Padres. Which shame on the Padres, but Toronto did it. They exercised the demons. They beat the big bad Yankees. Seattle's got to do it tomorrow, and now the Brewers have to get it with their postseason futility and to get back to the rarefied air of ALCS or NLCS. You got your ace going. You got Miz ready to go if anything happens. You got a great offense. They're throwing Boyd. They don't have their ace. You're $1.20. It seems short. Close them out. Get to the NLCS.
All right, so who do you want to attack in this game in terms of player props? Because Matthew Boyd is not trending in the right direction. He has allowed 4+ runs in 6 out of his last 9 starts. Hello. William Contreras in his career. These are all going to be very small sample sizes, but 5 of 10, a home run and a double. Tarang, 3 of 8 and a double. Yeah. Yelich, 3 of 12, double and a home run. Andrew Vaughn is also homered off of Matthew Boyd. And the Brewers have averaged 5.3 runs per game since the All-Star break. It's a very good offense. They got guys that can kill you pretty much all over the lineup. Yeah. I went to war with Yelich and Cheerio yesterday. I got bailed the Cheerio double late. Yeah. Cashed that ticket, but it wasn't looking so hot. Who do you trust here in the game off of him? I'm talking total bases. You can find plus money on over 1.5 total bases for all these guys.
Well, I think all these guys can hit, though, too. And proving what they did in the first 2 home games. I just was disappointed that they couldn't get much going, and 4 runs in the first inning held up, which surprised me.
Peralta, 2.71 ERA, 10.5 Ks per 9. Yeah. That's between the regular season and the playoffs so far. But the ERA goes up to 3.71 on the road and almost 3.5 walks per 9. He can't. This has been a sticking point with Freddie Peralta and me going back several years, because I have on this show made the case for him before, like every season until this year, because I tapped out to win the Cy Young and to lead the league in strikeouts. And this year he made a run at the Cy Young. He's not going to win it, but he had his career year. But the problem that always killed me was how many guys he could walk in any given game. Mm-hmm.
There's 2 things here. Number 1, he just comes in and kicks ass, dominates, goes 7 strong. They win the game, no problem.
Strikes out 9, there you go.
Right, yep. Or it's just the bats go nuts like the first game or the second game. And you put a 5 spot up there right away, and you coast and you win like a 9-4 game, right? And the Yurfee is plus money. A run to be scored in the first inning is plus 120 at DraftKings. 18 first inning runs so far in this series.
Well, you figure if it's coming here, it's going to be off of Boyd right away in the first.
Yeah.
And that's a pop-up by Ohtani on the first pitch of the game.
Get out of the infield.
His struggles continue.
Yep. Bad in this series. Boy, this would be bad. If he puts up like a 1 for 25 or something?
Well, he's trending that way.
Oh, man.
Right? 1 to 15 now in the series. By the way, the empty seats in Dodger Stadium, as predicted, you're playing a 3:08 local time start here. Like what do they average? 55,000 a night? For those who have never driven in LA, you can imagine what it's like.
Yeah.
This time of day. Any time of day. I've been stuck on the road going nowhere at 12:30 in the morning.
Yes. It's brutal. What do you think tomorrow? The Yurfee is plus 145. And they've got Skubal's number so far. Beat him 3 times, and he's 0-2 with an ERA of 5.
Did you see his K prop?
I didn't look.
You know what? I'll look right now again.
Is it 9?
It was 8.5 juiced like heavily over.
Okay. So can Kirby do it again? And is it Castillo behind him? I could go Kirby Castillo because Castillo was so good in game 2.
I would do that for sure.
But can I win another 2-1, 3-2 game? I don't know. I think that's got to be the offense comes alive and bails me out. Can Kirby do it again? I mean, it's just...
Yeah, because the Tigers strike out a ton.
Okay.
So if you're going to go Kirby and Castillo back-to-back at home, like there's an angle here where they might combine to go 7-8 innings and strike out like 15 guys. The Tigers' whiff rate is off the charts high.
God, you gave them life, though. That's the thing. You gave them life. It was 3-0 in the bottom of the 5th, and they couldn't hit, and they weren't doing anything, and then they come alive and get to your bullpen, and now they're smelling themselves now as well.
Wow, that's
the thing that's got to bother me, because they were just... You got to close that out.
I know.
So bad.
It's like the Brewers tonight. Got to close it out. You don't want to mess around here.
The odds to win the World Series now are fascinating. And along with
hold on. Okay. Skubal is as high as he's higher than 160 to go over 8.5 Ks.
Oh man.
That's unbettable in my opinion.
The Dodgers are plus 195 to win the World Series. And you think the Phillies win today? I bet the Phillies, and their season could be on their line in game 5. Toronto plus 360.
Well, what's the
Have you
series
seen
price?
anything on Bassett or what the stat it is on these guys? What do you make the series price?
If we get Blue Jays and Mariners, Blue Jays in the 135 range, 140.
Well, yeah, looking back, that Yankee price was ridiculous. I have to see what happens with Wu. I have to know his status. Brewers 5-1, Tigers 7. Cubbies are 20-1.
Tells you. Well, they have to win this game to actually even the series, but...
And the Phillies are 10. And
if the Phillies win this game today, why can't they win the whole thing?
AL MVP, Vlad is 7-1.
ALCS MVP, yeah, of course. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, my fault. Yeah,
No.
Varsho 25. That's how many guys can hit? They were awesome.
The answer, all of them. How about your big guy, Big Earn?
Big Earn. I forgot about Big Earn.
Yeah.
And he owns lefties. Big Earn was great in that series, too.
Right.
There was that good stat, too, about what they've done in the post, with 34 runs in the postseason, or in the what they did in the Yankee series, rather, how they hit.
What do you have for Springer?
He is 11. I want more.
Well, Vladdy at 7 is actually not bad, because a lot of times when let's say this is the Yankees we're talking about or the Dodgers, right? Like Judge or Ohtani would be not much higher than probably 3-1.
Yeah.
So you're going to get one of the hottest players on the planet on a team that's going to have home field, and he's 7-1.
Some big numbers out here
That's not awful.
Yeah. Because I don't know what's going to happen availability for these guys. Wu's 70-1. Gossman's 90. But Bichette is 40. Polanco's 40. Kirby's 45. Big Dumper's 9. And Skubal's 9.
Well, Skubal has to go tomorrow, so how many games is he going to be able to start in a 7-game series?
He'll probably go 2, that's it.
Right. So once you look at Gossman, who would go in game 1?
Yeah. He was
70-1?
Yeah. Bassett's listed at 150, so is Bieber.
I don't hate the Gossman number.
Could you get every game's tight and the closer has
Sure. Has four saves?
They're both 200-1. Munoz and Hoffman.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'll tell you, the Mariners, they can strike out a lot too. So let's say there's an angle here where that goes 7 games and Gossman pitches 3 times. Would they do that with the unknown availability of Bassett and Barrios? He's got high strikeout stuff from time to time.
Yeah.
Or if it's a 5-game series and he pitches games 1 and 5 and he's brilliant, it's a big number, man. We're going to hit Thursday Night Football coming up next. This has been pure domination in this spot for a decade. Wait until you hear the lopsided numbers next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We were kicking around potential series prices with the Blue Jays playing the American League CS. Thanks to Paul on X, at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard. A couple of different books announced that they have opened up regardless of the opponent. What do you think about that? Blue Jays minus 135.
They're going to be tough to beat.
Regardless of the opponent?
Yeah. That was awesome what they did. And the other thing?
I just think the Mariners are better than the Tigers even if they lose the series.
Oh, I know. That'd be devastating. Devastating to give this up. Just the timing, what happened with Wu. But I know we've talked to Chris Russo before, and he said Cashman has a job for life. How long can Boone continue? If you're not talking wild card, right? That wild card round, they're 0-7 since 2012 against non-AL Central teams. They're not playing like the Royals or the Twins. They can't win. Once they get past that wild card round, and again, they go out. There's some Cleveland in there, too. They've owned Cleveland. But
aren't you going to love them next year?
Yeah, they look good on paper, I know.
The reason why I say that is because they'll get Cole back, so you're going to go Cole, Fried, Rodon, Schlittler. And then an offense that you can build around Aaron Judge.
How about Volpe? Oh, he was 1 of 15 with 10 Ks in the series.
Yeah, he's a liability.
Yeah.
Several ways.
It's what you love, though, out of a team. With how good the pitching was. And what they did last night, which totally shocked me, where all these guys were on, and I usually agree. I always agree with Vasgersian, but I agree with them on this, that I don't like this. We're going to run 7 guys out there because they all have to be on.
No,
they all had it.
Right.
But there's so many guys that can hit on this team.
That's the thing, right? They don't strike out and they make a ton of contact. So the Schlittler thing never really surprised me. Not a lot of Ks got hit, all around the yard for 9 up that he allowed. We talked about that several times on the air yesterday. But I'm surprised that the Yankees offense was limited to 2 runs. And it felt like it was a chore to get to 2 runs in that game.
Right.
And by the way, they go to the bottom of the second right now, Dodger Stadium. This is a quick game so far. Both pitchers dealing, no score. Sanchez 1-2-3, and Glasnow with a quick top of the second. So
I would say jump on the under. And if you want the first 500, do that too. If you don't want to get into bullpen hijinks, you see what the Dodgers have planned behind Glasnow if it gets hairy. But 6.5 right now, the total.
Okay, so let me run this down for you. Thursday Night Football.
Yep.
The last 10 years, the Eagles are 10-1 in Thursday night games. That is the best mark out of any team in the entire league. During the same window, Pauly, the Giants are 0-10. They are the only winless team in the league. The Eagles have 10 straight wins against the Giants in primetime games. Last loss, 2008, Sunday Night Football. This is the longest streak by any team versus a single opponent since the 1970 merger. All streaks must come to an end.
Yep.
Does that happen tonight?
Eagles win, but I don't know how. And I don't know. It should be a Barkley game. Again, with this documentary and these comments that they spit in my face and didn't like how the organization was run, how they were handling things with me and my contract. He had $170 on him last year. And I think this is the game where they get him going and he goes off. Now, if you want to go over the 85 rushing yards,
big number.
That is a big number, but if you would tack it the other way, which the guru has been on this the last 2 weeks, and the guest gave it out, they tweeted out the VSiN account, 14.5 is the receiving yards, and he's got that the last 2. He should go over that as well. I think it's all about Barkley and to have a big game here. But when is this offense, other than the second half against the Rams, when is this offense going to look like the team that we saw last year and won the Super Bowl, and they have so many talented guys? I mean, this is impossible that their numbers are this bad when you look at the passing attack, which is near the bottom. They spent so much money on the offense. It's the least efficient offense and number 1 in the league in 3 and outs. And then the debacle last week to blow the 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter. And they don't even get the rushing game going or attempt, with Barkley only getting 1 carry in the fourth quarter. 27th in yards, outgained in every game. Yeah. So, Sal dismissed the Fugazi stuff, but your comeback could be finding ways to win, got to be sound in all 3 phases, great in special teams, and then we fell asleep when we blew the 2-touchdown lead against Denver. But this is a get-right game. And these got to win these next 3 games. Giants, Vikings, Giants.
Yeah, but that's easier said than done. And I think there is an angle here where maybe they're just not that good of a football team. They can turn into a football team the longer the season plays out, potentially. But again, Barkley had all those touches last year. He's now a 28-year-old running back. And a lot of times when they're coming off of those monster seasons, it affects them the following year. That's why fantasy people will tell you I'm fading them. I'm not going to take them as high as they're going with their average draft position in drafts, for example. The new offensive coordinator has to be a little alarming at this point.
Yep.
The fact that 200 yards or in that neighborhood is what they're putting up in some of these games, 216 recently, 200. What did they do in the Buccaneers game? Answer, not much. Got a huge break on the block kick yet again. Absolutely should have lost the Rams game. What if there's no lightning delay against the Cowboys in week 1 and CeeDee Lamb hangs onto the football? I know those are a lot of what ifs, but this team so far to me looks a lot like the Chiefs last year, where they were never that impressive. The explosive plays were not there, and they somehow, the luck factor was off the charts, and they won 15 games, 11 of those by a 1-score margin. And the Eagles just might be that team, and it could play out that full season. It doesn't mean they're going to be good in the playoffs or long term, but I just can't wrap my head around them as of right now. And I'm sorry, but it has to do with the OC.
Mm-hmm.
How is it not?
Well, you have the worst passing attack in the league? Yeah. The other angle is the prime time with the New York teams. 5-35 straight up since 2019, as well as we've talked about for 6 years. The Giants are an ATM machine with the under at home games, especially when they're dogs, and a 22-3 under run at home in September and October. How would you attack it then if you're the OC? Is it a little bit of Brown early? It's a ton of Barkley? Are you spreading it around? A little Goddard? What's your game plan?
By the way, I'll get to that in a second, but the Phillies just had back-to-back really good defensive plays, including a double play, so they got out of the second. Now they'll move to the third. Overall, I have a couple of bets on it, so I'm going to save that for in-pocket plays coming up. But I will point out again, when you look at passing numbers here for the Giants defensively, they are 32nd in DVOA against wide receiver number 1. That would be A.J. Brown. They allow 67 yards per game to the position. They are 30th against whichever player qualifies as wide receiver number 3 on these different teams. They are 14th against tight ends, allowing almost 40 yards per game, and they are 25th in DVOA against opposing running backs in the air. As for the Eagles, they are exceptional defensively in the aerial attack. I played this a little earlier. Paul Charchian had an incredible breakdown in this game. If you missed it, you can go back and listen to the Follow the Money podcast, wherever you get your podcast. He was on in the first hour today. But overall, the Eagles are number 1 against wide receiver number 2. They're top 7 against the third receiver on these teams. And again, the Giants are down a couple of guys here. No Neighbors, no Slayton. They're also absolutely elite against tight ends, ranking 3rd in DVOA, and awesome against running backs, 5th overall, allowing 27 yards per game. But Dart, you figure, like he's going to have to throw the ball to somebody.
Well, that's right. I'll get into that too coming up. I just think it's going to be short, quick, get it out, use the tight ends, dump it off to the running backs, and get Robinson involved early as well. How about some great props up at Will Hill and Caesars? Like how does this stuff not cash, right, when you look at it? It's like the Puka last week. He won't have 25 yards in each half? Well, he had 24 in the first half. A.J. Brown and Smith have 5 yards each quarter, 15-1. 25 yards each half, 8-1. Both teams have a rushing touchdown, $1.15. Both teams have a passing touchdown, $1.30.
Well, the rushing touchdown might not be bad, right? Think about the candidates that you have here.
Do the Eagles break out of it? Will they score 40 points, 9-1?
They might, but...
Dart and Hurts, 20 yards each quarter, 4-1. Hurts and Barkley, 200 yards rushing combined, 6-1. And here's where it gets juicy, because I think it's all about Barkley tonight. 10 yards each quarter, plus 145. It'd be a blowout, though.
Rushing.
Okay. 20 is plus 650. 5 yards each quarter, $1.90. 50 each half, 3-1.
Oh, boy.
I mean, it's all the talk about. You can't get him going. What's going on? Why is this running game struggling? He was so good last year. Now he's trying to stick it to his old team, spit in the face, all this stuff.
Yeah. Well, the 10 yards per quarter at that plus price.
Plus 145?
Yeah. But again, what if it does turn into a blowout?
Yeah.
Then you're going to get Tank Bigsby and Will Shipley.
Yeah. Well, okay. And you can play that, too, with the anytime touchdown, too.
Sure.
If you want to do that. And those are some big numbers as well. That's excellent.
All right. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. I wonder if they're going to be used at all in Survivor.
Oh, interesting.
The Eagles.
I'd be...
21 teams were taken.
They got them at home in 2 weeks.
I know that.
But, yeah. Well, there's always someone who's eggs. I know.
Yeah. All right, we will get to our best bets for tonight and beyond coming up next with In Pocket Plays here and Follow the Money VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. Nope. 5-1. Nope. 10-1. You're on.
All right, another great night tonight. 5 football games. 2 playoff elimination games in MLB. Bottom of the third, no score. A lot of fun. All right. Props didn't go well last night. Congrats to the Blue Jays. They were awesome. Dead wrong. Yankees team total over loser, and the Yankees to win the game loser, and Aaron Nola went 2 innings. That was it. They had him. The nerve. Yurfie should have cashed. We got a guy on third with 1 out.
I'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh, God. Hernandez. Come on. Vlad with a walk. That was a winner. A lot going on tonight. A lot of props as well. First, the pending. Washington Monday night. Commanders as well. I'm going to go Sanchez. I talked about it earlier before the game. Sanchez outs over. They need him to go at least 7. I'm going to back Detroit and Scooble tomorrow. Can Seattle beat them for a 4th time? Broncos, Giants. Broncos, Jets. Both teams to make a 33-yard field goal. That's up. Check that out. They moved that to 35 at Caesars and Will Hill. Steelers, Boswell over 1.5 made field goals. It's $1.15. I was surprised by that. Chargers over 1.5. Someone I added to the list. You can read the article up, vsin.com. Got to put Chase McLaughlin up there now, too. He's gone over 4 of the 5 games and had Fangio all mad. He's like, we play good defense. The guy hits from 65 and 58. What gives? So, I'm with Paul Charchian. I like Scattaboo over 12.5. 6 for 45 last week. Dump off. Short stuff. That's what they did last week. Johnson had 7 targets and 6 catches. Everything was short to the tight ends and the running backs. But my Giant source said, you got to get Robinson going early and often. And we got to take some shots down the field, please. So, Robinson, to have 25 yards each half, plus 275. And there was also a Robinson, you took it off the board, but there was a Robinson each quarter as well. That the prop up at Caesars. His prop is 43.5. I also like that over. And a good tidbit, read them every day, vsin.com. Jonathan Davis with a great breakdown and a pick in the Detroit-Montreal game. Red Wings to score the first goal, minus 130.
Good luck, Pauly. There is breaking news with this game that we'll expand on when we hang out with Murray, Humans, Primetime. Jalen Carter out. Oh! Big loss for the Eagles.
What happened? Does it say?
They're not adding the reason why that I've seen
hanging out with
as of
Tanner
right now.
Scott?
He's not going to give it a go. And what was the game? It was the Cowboys game.
Yeah, he's kicked out before the first
where
play.
They Williams had a really good year actually for Dallas, but he was great in that game if I recall correctly against Philadelphia in Week 1. All right, so the props were 3-3 last night. The good news is that the plus money ones came in. Cheerio plus 110, total bases over. Yelich plus 150. Enrique Hernandez plus 135, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. The team total for the Yankees, no good. That one really surprised me. They could not get anything going in the entire game.
I know.
Jeez.
Well, you can't. I mean, the last run is like, yeah, who cares? I mean, Judge just hits a double off the wall, or the single off the wall. Yeah, the single. You couldn't get a double on that.
Right.
It's plus 4-10 on a double.
That's right. Austin, do you see here? The Maple Leafs game, they won 5-2. Matthews scored a goal, had 1 shot on goal. 1. And it came late, I believe, when he scored. So that never had a chance. And in the Yerfie now with the Dodgers and Phillies last night. Now I'm going to ask you the question here. If that pitch doesn't hit Freeman, that's a pass ball, right? Like the catcher's not going to be able to gobble that up.
Yeah, right.
Then Mookie's going to score from third.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted right there was for it to actually hit Freeman. I wanted him to get out of the way or not hit him because I'm convinced it was going to be a pass ball and then Mookie scores. But they couldn't get him in from third anyway.
Hernandez hit a ground ball.
Sure, that.
I mean, come on, man.
Yep.
G-Bank built with sports.
Hold on, that's the
sorry,
graded.
my fault.
The new stuff here as we look forward to tonight's action. All right, I talked about this as well before the show started. Right now, bottom of the third, no score, Phillies-Dodgers. Split a unit here on the Phillies' first 5, and for the game, they were plus 120, first 5, plus 110. I can't believe this number here. Tyquan Thornton playing Sunday night for the Chiefs. He just had 90 yards. His prop was, 14.5? And it went down before the game. There's no Rashee Rice. He doesn't come back till next week. 19.5 is the prop for the Chiefs. Got to take that. Props for tonight. Barkley, over 2.5 receptions, even money in the game. We'll expand on that again coming up on Primetime. And it's correlated to over 14.5 receiving yards as well. And Paul Charchian with a great breakdown on Jackson Dart. So I took under 32.5 longest completion in the game.
G-Bank built with sports bettors in mind. Right now, earn a $50 cashback reward bonus once you're approved. and your account's open with the G-Bank Visa Signature Card. Most credit card, street sportsbooks, and gaming transactions as cash advances, even when it's your own money. G-Bank treats them as regular purchases. No cash advance fees. You save up to 3 to 5% on every deposit. 1% cash back on all eligible sportsbooks and gaming transactions. 2% cash back on everything else you buy. Apply now, VSiN.com/GBank. Go get it. Here he comes. Come on, Ohtani. Deliver now. Come on.
You want to bet on this?
Hit.
You want to do the fire bets right now?
Sure. Let me look. Will he get the ball out of the infield? Love that.
Well, he made contact.
Yeah.
He did. He fouled off the first pitch that he saw from Sanchez earlier tonight, and there's a 96-mile-an-hour strike.
Miles per hour. Bets.
All right. Sanchez, by the way, at 29 pitches right now in the bottom of the third. There is a runner on first. 2 outs. There is no score here. This game is zipping by the way. As we have Cubs and Brewers coming up in, 2.5 hours now from Wrigley?
You want to bet what Marsh does coming up?
Oh, man, are you kidding me?
What happened? Error?
That's a botched double play ball. And now they have runners on first and third. You're going to get out of the inning. Sanchez is at 30 pitches. That's it.
Oh, man.
Top of the lineup coming up for the Phillies. Are you bleeping kidding me, man? That's a double play ball to get out of the inning, and now you got Betts and Freeman coming up. Look at this.
I think there's 2 outs. But that's terrible.
Oh, you know what? There are 2 outs. I was confused there for a second.
That's terrible.
Yeah. How do you not make that play?
High school, man. Got a T-ball. Come on.
Ugh.
See if they take advantage. $1.40 in play, 5.5 the total. Well, apparently they got out of it. I'm ahead on the app with the in play. I'm seeing top of fourth now.
Oh, is that right?
So it doesn't hurt. Mookie must swing at the first pitch and pop it up or something.
Unless we're 3 minutes behind here in the live. There you go.
Oh, nice play. Harper. So Marsh coming to the plate. Exact result. Double 14 to 1. In play out plus 105. Reach on error 30 to 1. Single 5 to 1. Strikeout plus 240. Walk hit by pitch 7 to 1. These are good, these fire bets.
You want to take a strikeout?
Let's get that. Yeah, live.
Let me see how Glasnow's dealing so far in this game.
He's bringing it.
Yeah, he's got 4 Ks so far. And Marsh struck out the first at bat. Why not?
Okay.
What was the price on the K?
Strikeouts plus 240.
Yeah, it's big enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Those are fun. Official horse racing partner of VSiN. First Bet, built for bettors who demand more. At First Bet isn't just about placing a bet. It's helping bettors of all levels with AI handicapping tools that provide data-driven insights to help you make smarter bets. Their in-app tools give you win, play, show probabilities for each runner so you can quickly and easily identify good value plays and improve your ROI. Take advantage of a limited time $250 sign-up offer. To claim your bonus, use promo code VSiN250 when you sign up in the First Bet app or at firstbet.com. Promo code VSiN250.
So predict the narrative now. If, let's say, the Eagles do blow them out, okay, then the Eagles are back, right? Offense is clicking, Barkley, revenge game. What if it's a tight game the entire time and they either win or lose a game that is low scoring, not much offense, like 17-16, and they have like 220 yards of offense again?
Then it's all real and valid. The offense is broken. They're not a contender. Outgained in all 5 games. 30th in offense. Dead last passing. If you can't do it here, come on.
Yeah.
It's just maybe you think it's not going to happen because the Minnesota's on deck as well.
Boy, the Carter injury could be something here that is quite large for that team.
Yeah.
Plugging up the gap there right on the nose of that defense. People are making the case that he's the best interior lineman in football last year. Remember, he was a minus 10,000 favorite halfway through his rookie year to win Rookie of the Year, and he never did.
Mm-hmm.
Because he fell apart a little bit late and the snaps were not there for him. Yeah, I think it's intriguing, man.
I got one for you, quickly. A field goal each quarter's 5 to 1.
It's your specialty.
If you think it's low scoring, right?
Hammer
every Giant game goes under at home.
Hammer the daylights out of it.
There you go.
We're hanging out for another half an hour. We'll break down the game even more. Humans, Murray joins primetime next.